everybody, Melissa Klein here, and I am getting ready to do some color mixing with CELADON. And this is actually, CELADON is technically based upon a glaze, and I need to do more research, but I haven't had. But this is the color I'm going for, and this was made by a ceramicist that I purchased several years ago, and just absolutely adore it. And one of the things he had said, this is a very hard glaze to get right, and I nailed it. So how could you not honor that about when another artist does? Shout out to ceramicists. You're just as valid. What the hell? I really hate how a lot of times people are like, oh, that's craft. I'm like, I collect that, and I adore that. So there. So I'm going to turn around the camera. You can see the gray in the background, the wall that I'm looking to cover with this gorgeousness. All right, and we'll go from there.
So here's a very brief, mini history lesson where celadon is one of those colors that has a huge variety of what that means. And this is taken from Sotheby's and originally, and which I would consider a very good authority on the art history of things. In my mind's eye, the plate that is third row from the top and third from the left, to me, is the true celadon color that I'm kind of going for, something in that family. Benjamin Moore also came up with a paint swatch that looks great, I think. But I was really influenced by the cups themselves that I'd been living with for quite a few years. They've also survived the cuts from my many moves. And I loved how this color played against some of the other warm tones of other things that I love. Here's another, that's a local ceramicist on the right there. And also, I loved how it looks like in terms of light and shadow and how it catches the light and how the shadows work. Notice there's a huge variety depending on how that goes.
Okay, so now what I'm doing is, this is the thing that I'm looking to match. Now, obviously there's going to be variations in here in the glaze, and I guess the crackle, I think. I'm not sure exactly what they'll call it. But you can see that there's a lot of varieties of colors in here. But overall, if you kind of, and you can see there with some more blue and more green and all this. But overall, if you kind of squint, it's like, okay, that's overall the color that I'm going for. And what I've done is I've assembled various paint cans from other projects, and these are the colors that I'm basically seeing in there. One thing that's kind of interesting is I had painted a room with this kind of I think it's called dune grass or something. And I felt like this would be a good place to start. Yes, I'm starting with a convenience color. This is white jasmine, which is a basic white, but I really like it. And obviously bright green. Now green, another convenience color. And I wish that I had yellow ochre, but I'm gonna hold off on that. And this is sort of the closest yellow I can find. If I need to dull things down again a little bit, I might use a black, and I have plenty of black, of course. And this is like a cerulean or a cobalt blue. I'm not gonna film all this because I'm gonna be going back and forth, but I will take pictures here and there. Thanks. Wish me luck.
So the first thing I did was just put blue into the dune grass, and I was very imprecise just using paint sticks. And as you can see, it's looking like a gray. It looks terrible. Looks terrible. Looks terrible. Looks like gray versus green, right? So simple, add more green because it needs to be more green. I did wind up using a different yellow. Once I started to mix, I was like, I think this brighter yellow will work better. And I was correct, and I don't know why, but I just felt I wanted something fresher. When I think of this green, I just think of a beautiful, fresh, bright color. All right, so, and I also added a little bit of white. So here you can see with the wet paint, it's pretty close. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to see actually an example of photography not actually matching in real life. So when I was so proud of my color match, and then I took this photo, I was like, oh, this is awful. Everything looks gray. But when I backed up the camera, I was able to show that, yes, I did nail it. I did wind up adding a bit more white on my second coat because I just wanted it to be a little bit brighter. And when it dried, it got a bit darker, and I just wanted that freshness. All right. Thank you so much for watching.